What's up, guys? We're up here in Boone, North Carolina. You're probably wondering, why am I at Boone, North Carolina when the game's like a week away from today? Simply because you're not gonna get a sunrise like this any other time. It's peak fall foliage. This is the perk of living in the Carolinas, man. Not only do you get the beaches, not only do you get the city, but you also get beautiful mountains around here. Name another YouTuber who drives 3.5 hours the week before a game just to get some shots of the sunrise, man. Like, if that doesn't tell you anything, I don't know. So, like, subscribe, turn on those post notifications, do what you need to do to help support this channel, because we're going all out for this, man. Appreciate y'all. This is Road Team Reviews, and we're ready for takeoff. What's up, guys? We are back here week 11 of the college football season, ready for another action-packed game, and none other than the Sun Belt Fun Belt Conference. For today's matchup, we're gonna go see the Appalachian State Mountaineers versus the South Alabama Jaguars.
The USA Jaguars.
Arguably the best initials.
Yeah, the most American team in the nation. Always wanted to go to this stadium. I think both of us have, and they have done a lot to it.
Major changes to the stadium, so pretty glad that we get to visit at this time currently. I'm excited about this matchup, man, because App State's a pretty relevant team in the Sun Belt. I feel like the Sun Belt's on the rise.
We're kind of Sun Belt advocates now, you know?
Yeah, the one game where App State played Coastal was kind of what put Sun Belt on the map a little bit more. It got the Sun Belt Conference a little bit more exposure on TV. You probably know the infamous interaction with Teddy Gallagher and Chase Bryce, and Chase Bryce ended up getting the last laugh.
Yeah, he did. Speaking of Chase Bryce, by now, if you have watched this channel, watched our videos regularly or know us, then you know that Clemson fan here, Carolina fan there. We got that Palmetto rivalry, and this game, believe it or not, actually has ties to that famous rivalry.
Yep.
We have Jake Bentley, who is a 6-year guy, started back in 2015 or 16 with South Carolina.
Yep.
I think one of his games against Clemson, he threw for like over 500 yards,
5 touchdowns.
Yeah.
Still lost. At my time at South Carolina, got to witness Jake Bentley through his highs and lows. He's done some pretty good things with the program too. You know?
He's still a friend of the university, right?
I welcome him with open arms. He won us an Outback Bowl against my most hated team in the world, which is the Michigan Wolverines. He came in as a sophomore, came in and beat those Wolverines for the second time in the Outback Bowl, you know, when J.D. Clowney got the hit against them. So it's just nice to have a 2-0 record against Michigan, and Jake Bentley has got a little soft spot in my heart because of that.
Now on the other side, we got Chase Bryce. He is most well known for keeping Clemson's playoff and then later national title hopes alive when Trevor Lawrence went down in a Syracuse game with a neck injury. He didn't want to sit behind Trevor the whole time. Kind of wanted to do his own thing, so he transferred to Duke. And he led the nation in turnovers. Then he transferred again, and he finally found his home with the Mountaineers. And I think it's for the best that both of these talented quarterbacks from these big schools found really nice homes here in the Sun Belt.
I think it's going to be a pretty high-scoring affair. I think it's going to be 2 high-powered offenses going at it. I'm going to predict that App State pulls it off 38-31.
For me, I definitely think App State's going to win it. I think App State's going to come home with the victory. I'm going to guess 34 to, say, 21. We're about 30 minutes away.
Kidd Brewer Stadium. See you soon.
Oh my gosh, this is amazing right now. Dude, you got to, like, look at that.
feeling?
I'm not used to this. Like, this is like the coldest football game I've ever been to.
But hey, I like the hat, man. I really do.
I'm gonna need like this right here.
Yeah, well, we're just waiting on the shuttle over here, so.
A few moments later.
All right, so we had to make an audible. Couldn't really count on the next shuttle to come because I was gonna be at 2 and there was no guarantee for that. So we're just gonna make the 30-minute mile walk. Yeah, I think it's the smart thing to do right now. So we'll see you there.
Yeah.
Road team reviews. Not only do we review, but we run cross country across these stadiums. You know, I feel like David Goggins right now. Life is gonna come at you. It's gonna kick you in that. But you know what? Life's about a mountain. It's all about the climb. Once you get to the top, it still ain't. You know why? Because there's always the sky. Anyways, I didn't know where I was going with that.
First impressions, it just feels like a big ski resort.
I'm telling you, fall up in Boone, North Carolina just hits different. I don't know what it is about it. Fall football in Boone, North Carolina is just an absolute treat, man.
Took a wrong turn, ended up in Colorado. Basketball arena has great scenic value.
Yeah,
They got a Christmas tree up there too.
And they got a Christmas tree.
Everything is so like compact.
I know.
Ninth game, finally got a kick return. I guess Georgia Southern had the roller coaster loading dock. App State, you got the ski lift. I thought that was last week. Number 91, Chandler Tate. App State, y'all done a great job rebranding yourselves. There's still just no getting past. I want to say it, but that high school aluminum bleacher, there's no running from it. Look at that.
Hey, yeah, Bill's Mafia up here in Boone, North Carolina. You know what it is.
You ever have that point where like you're about to get to the bathroom, you got the final stride?
Hey man, I don't know what part of town we in here, but I think I see something I like over here.
Good night.
Bruising buds, baby. Name me a better duo, I'll wait.
Just reached the end of the game. Walking down this beautiful trail over here. I mean, you can't really beat this view. It's just a perfect sunset over here. Kind of just feeling like I'm walking in a Hallmark movie. I think it does give Georgia Southern a run for its money for prettiest little stadium. As a matter of fact, it's a whole lot prettier.
Everything that we said about Jake Bentley, just please
completely wrong.
disregard. We did not look at the injury report before the game.
I was completely unaware that this dude was not going to play all game.
Look at this tree, dude. Like, wow. Autumnal colors and vibes right now. Love it.
The vibes are, in fact, immaculate. We'll see you at the review.
Yep. All right, so we're back in the somewhat new and improved studio. First impressions of Kidd Brewer. Pretty good. Definitely a unique little stadium. We should talk about just the beauty that we witnessed in Boone, North Carolina.
I'll tell you what, man. It was quite the view, man. I mean...
Yeah, like if you live in the Carolinas, definitely need to go anywhere up in the mountains for fall.
sure. Not just that, but the whole drive there was just so pretty. Us just being typical South Carolinians, didn't bring any gloves or any kind of insulated shoes, and we paid the price for it.
You know, I wore that ridiculous hat, but I saw others wearing hats like that, so didn't feel too, like, out of the norm.
Too much drip.
Overall, wasn't the most exciting game, but yeah, home team still got a win, and I think App State pretty much has gotten the full grasp of the Sun Belt East Division. Yeah, without further ado, let's get into the categories. First up, structure.
As far as the structure goes, I have mixed feelings about it. Cosmetically, I think the stadium looks pretty good on the outside from the home side of things. I think they got beautiful brick patterns, and they got beautiful brick around the whole entire home section. You can tell this the stadium has been modernized a lot. You could tell they've added a lot of renovations in the past couple years, and it definitely shows. There's some pros and some cons to it. One of the major things that I did not enjoy about this stadium was that everything was just cramped. You really do appreciate how much room you have when you're sitting down. Like, you never know what you have until you're in a stadium where you have to literally squeeze in between people, and if people are trying to get in between you, you can't just stand up. You have to, like, stand up on your seat for people to get by.
If you're claustrophobic, this might not be the stadium for you. It is one of the most, or it's the most cramped football stadium I've ever been to. Literally feels like you are right over the person below you, or the person above you is like right over you, for the homestand at least. The away one might be a little different, but this homestand is so cramped and it's so condensed. So we'll get into this with atmosphere, but really feel like you are so close to people, like strangers, that it is kind of uncomfortable at times to like really cheer and like act a fool. And I don't know, I think the structure kind of hinders that. But again, like Triston mentioned, there are some nice pieces with the stadium. Like everything new is super nice. Like the press box has definitely gone through renovations. The outside of it looks like a lot of stadiums, they turn the backside of the homestand into a whole separate building, and it has a really nice design to it. And then the press box looks really new and just really clean. And then the end zone seating with the field. I don't know if that's a field house, but it is where their team store is. I think that's where they run out of. There is a small section of like kind of luxury club seating there. But yeah, it's a very unique stadium.
Yeah, I've never really seen anything like that in the end zone before. I like that new renovation that they got there. It adds a little bit more capacity to this 30,000 people stadium.
A few other notes, they do have a hill. It's a very small one, kind of wraps around the whole back end of the end zone. They do have a pretty nice scoreboard.
Oh yeah.
It's one of their newer additions, and it has Jumbotron, and then it has a very just easily to read scoreboard with the logos, and
it does have the score on the actual scoreboard.
One last just final thought that I'll kind of go over. I feel like as a whole this goes for the entire App State program. What it kind of seems like is that they're blending old and new together, and it's really everything if you just look at the App State logo. In the middle it has that classic Mountaineer font, which they keep that, but then if you look at it, they do a great job of using like new branding and graphics in their stadium. Everything is more like cutting edge.
Yeah.
You know, something's Didn't you say that? Or?
I said, you know something is trying to rebrand themselves and try to modernize themselves when you see italic letters.
Yeah.
So.
And they have it in their end zones, on their field house. It's just kind of the App State font now. And then the stadium, I don't know, it just captures, again, the old mountain Appalachian feel, but with a team that's been doing great as of late.
Yeah.
You got to keep things up. You got to keep the recruits coming in. So you do have to also have that very nice and modern look to it. And I think App State balances that very nicely as a program, and they incorporate nicely with their stadium.
Also, the last takeaway was the away section.
Is cheeks.
If you see pictures of App State on the internet, you really see everything from the home side. If you go to the other side of the stadium and you go underneath it, all you see is just aluminum stands, and you just see like a whole aluminum section right there.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think it may come down to funding. I think App State's going to still add a lot more to the stadium.
I actually disagree. I think they're going to try to keep it small. I think everything they're doing has a purpose. If you get the stadium too big, then you're going to cut out all the mountain views. I feel like they're trying to kind of being really particular about their renovating and everything. So, but for now, our grades for Kidd Brewer, the structure for Kidd Brewer, pretty much the same grade. I gave it a 79, a C+.
Like I said, this stadium is a nice looking stadium from a cosmetic point of view, but if we're talking about like the overall foundation and structure of the stadium, you know, it could do a lot better with like creating a little bit more room for seats, and not just seats, but like walking down the stairs. Sometimes you just feel like you can't really, it's like ice road truckers. You're going down this mountain and it's only like a 1-lane mountain, and then you realize, oh, there's another car coming in front of me, so you have no choice but to just put it in reverse, Terry.
Put it in reverse, Terry! Oh, Lord!
And that's kind of what you have to do when you're trying to like exit the stadium or you're trying to go to the bathroom. So it looks nice, but there's a lot of foundational types of things that need to be improved. And because of that, I'm going to give this overall score an 80.
Never take for granted that foot space you have in any stadium you're in, because you could have none.
Exactly.
So, yep.
All right. And on to the next category, which is atmosphere. Not much going on, man. Honestly, I was pretty surprised by that. Maybe they just weren't excited to watch them play the USA Jaguars. Just didn't really feel that much energy within the stadium. And I mean, we were in the home section. We weren't too far away from the student section.
Just above the student section for the most part. Thinking about it a little bit, so overall, pretty lackluster fan performance, which is disappointing because watched a good bit of App State games.
Yeah.
And it looks pretty fun. Looks like everyone's really invested, jumping around in the game. Those could be because those are nationally broadcasted games, so could have been, again, like he said, Jaguars aren't the most exciting program to go and watch. It was freezing cold, but again, that's what this fan base is used to.
Yeah.
I don't know. A lot of people left at halftime.
A lot.
One thing that I think could play a part is that this stadium did have a track around it, and that's a reason that the bleachers are still kind of far from the stadium or the field. So maybe everything's kind of dispersed, or even our stand that we were in was also pretty mid-tier.
I heard more noise from Georgia Southern, to be honest.
Oh, yeah.
I heard App State people telling me, like, yeah, you should have went to the Georgia Southern game, or you should have went to the Coastal game, man. That was one of the biggest games of the year and everything. But, you know, South Alabama's not like a terrible team. You know what I'm saying? They're not like some jabloni 0-6 type of team or anything like that. They're like still a pretty competitive
5-win team right now.
Yeah, they're still a pretty competitive program, and I mean, it's a conference game at the end of the day. So, I mean, you know, you should at least have your fans show a little bit more energy, in my opinion.
Yeah, overall atmosphere was pretty average. Also wasn't completely absent. Was definitely better than some others that we've been to.
I mean, at the end of the day, I think you check the attendance report. I mean, 98% of the fans showed up. So
according to ESPN.
Yeah, they didn't have a problem showing up to the game. So.
Oh yeah, and we'll touch on this too. Joseph, the mascot, he needs to
pep it up a little bit.
Yeah, I mean, you're a mascot. You know what you signed up for.
Yeah, man.
You need to go out there and make a fool of yourself. This is like ideal mascot temperature. It was cold. You should have been feeling good, but. Oh, right. But yeah, anyways, grades for atmosphere. I gave it a 70, a C-.
Don't want to knock you off too hard, but I got to give y'all a fair grade at the end of the day. Because of that, my final score is going to be a 75.
Now the category that we are probably the most excited to go over, and definitely its strongest, is the scenic value. No shortage of views for this campus. One of the most beautiful campus we've ever seen. We repeatedly brought up, we were like, dang, why did we not even like consider going to App State or not apply? Because it's just such a beautiful, peaceful environment.
Oh yeah. This is probably one of the most beautiful and underrated campuses in all of college football, or at least in the East Coast. You can't really catch a better view like during peak fall time than this, man. I really enjoyed just how the stadium was built, like not just in the mountains, but in the heart and soul of Boone, North Carolina, and just a combination of the city and the mountains. You just felt like you were a part of Boone when you're in that stadium right there.
Yeah, it's kind of, we were debating if this is technically a ditch stadium or not. Whether you want to say we were in a ditch or a valley, it's pretty cool because you are definitely engulfed in the mountains. The one end zone, there's a whole forest behind you.
Yes.
So it looked beautiful. I'm sure it still looks pretty cool early in the season.
Not only are you in the mountains, but you are like 3,300 feet above sea level. You get to see everything from miles away.
There's a pretty decent sized mountaintop. It was over to our left, and you could see like all kind of like these nice cabins up there. I mean, other than that, I'll throw this in a scenic value. We kind of did this with Virginia Tech. Up in the left corner of the student or the hill, there's a big App State A cut into, or has some brush, or has some bushes, some shrubbery in the shape of that App State A. And that's just a really nice touch because it's also accented with the yellow around it all.
Yeah. It's kind of like the Missouri M.
It does the same thing, has the same effect.
Yeah.
The Missouri M's with rocks. This is with hedges. Other than that, I don't know. I don't want to say it is, but it's definitely one of the highest stadiums on the East Coast. It's not nothing new. Like people know, like commentators talk about how beautiful it is. It lived up to my expectations. It was just beautiful. May have been boosted by the fall foliage too. But hey, can't control that. So our grades are just a point apart. I gave it a 93, which is an A-.
It definitely lived up to my expectations as well, and you know, Georgia Southern, maybe App State might be the prettiest little stadium in America.
Yeah.
Or maybe it's just in the prettiest location. You can't beat the beautiful Appalachian Mountains, and you just can't beat a view like that. I would highly recommend going to the stadium and enjoying this view. Because of that, I'm going to give this a 94.
Yeah, again, most beautiful scenic value that we have seen so far. Definitely really cool, unique stadium here. All right, so just a little tidbit of information with our grade scale. This is the highest grade we've given. You're probably wondering like, all right, this is head over heels way better than anything we've seen so far. Why'd you only give it a 93? Because the 100s, the 99s, that we kind of already have an idea of the stadiums that will receive these grades. These are like the West Coast, Rocky Mountain, Midwest stadiums.
Yeah, you're comparing this among the ranks of like BYU, Colorado, possibly Utah, Arizona State,
even UCLA, Pasadena.
Yeah.
One of the most beautiful sunsets in college football. But yeah, we just want to throw that out there to kind of better understand our grade scale and kind of our thought process behind it. But definitely probably the best East Coast views that you're going to get. So
yeah, arguably the best in the East.
Yeah, so good for you, Kidd Brewer. All right, so history and tradition. This was kind of another disappointing one. More so on the tradition side. We were able to find a good bit of history, and we even know about some history that a lot of college football fans know the upset of Michigan. Like
that's an iconic CFB moment right there.
Their dominance over the Sun Belt recently, how there was like no drop-off when they went to FBS.
Yeah.
Kidd Brewer, as a whole, a very historically prominent football figure. Apparently he's one of the most winningest coaches of all of college football. And then he went into politics. I think he ran for like lieutenant governor of North Carolina.
I saw that.
Something. I mean, there's no shortage of history with App State, but the traditions.
Okay, traditions. I mean, you got a cool mascot. I mean, you got Yosef. I think it's a cool mascot.
They have a cool statue of him. Yeah, it's cool that everyone knows him by like the first name. Oh, Yosef, what a weird guy.
The stadium is called The Rock.
We have no
idea why it's called The Rock. We've researched and tried to find exactly why it's called The Rock, but I mean, there's really no definitive answer for that.
They do have a big boulder right outside the stadium, which we believe is The Rock. It is right next to a graphic on the building that says "Welcome to The Rock."
Yeah.
So yeah, we don't know if it's because The Rock itself.
Dwayne Johnson made a huge donation. I don't know.
He might be a big App State supporter. We don't know if it's because they're just rock solid at home. One of the highest winning percentages, home winning percentages. It's like a .75 win percentage. If you know, please comment and tell us.
I'm pretty sure there's some of y'all that would know exactly why it's called the Rock. So yeah, just please let us know.
Promise you, we have searched, we have sifted through the internet and cannot find any clarification on the matter.
Yeah.
So, anyways, tradition, they had what a lot of teams do, you know, chant one side.
App State.
Yeah. Sure, everyone.
I mean, except Georgia Southern.
That. Yeah.
They had whose house, our house.
Oh yeah, they still had two stands to do it with.
Yeah.
Which certain stadiums, they don't have that luxury. You probably know who we're talking about. They had some memorial plaques.
Yeah, I believe they have another statue. They said it was supposed to be another statue coming in the fall of 2021. I don't know if we missed it or not.
Oh yeah, well there was Jim Moore.
Yeah,
they had a
that's-
statue of Jim Moore.
Yeah,
it was like
that's
the
who
Jim
it
Moore
was.
Plaza. Sorry if we didn't hear or catch some traditions. If you're an App State fan, inform us. Let us know what we missed. But yeah, for our grades for history and tradition, they were pretty average. I gave it a 75, which is a C.
You know, they've been a football program for a while. I think since like early 1900s. And, you know, if you've been to school for that long, I feel like there should at least be a little bit more culture-driven type of traditions.
For sure. There
But
wasn't really a tailgating presence.
there's probably some places that we missed, man, but we couldn't find it. We couldn't see anything. So I know App State's a pretty good party school. I mean, I've seen a couple videos where y'all are going pretty hard, man, especially during the Coastal game. But regardless,
We need to see that week in and week out.
and because of that, I'm gonna give it a 78.
App State, for real, the Sun Belt is about to expand to a 16-team conference.
Oh, yeah.
The Sun Belt is on the rise.
If you haven't heard it yet, you heard it now.
I want to see the Rock rocking
Yes, sir.
as it should. I want to see those tailgate tents popping up in those beautiful Blue Ridge Mountains.
Yes, sir.
And I just wanted to be loud because it has the potential. App State is a football school.
We need to hear the voice of the Appalachians.
We need to hear the scream of Josef von Heimerschmidt.
All right, guys, and last but not least, we're going to conclude this with field design. Field design was actually pretty cool, man. I like the overall modern design of this field. I think it definitely stands out. When I was looking at the stadium from an aerial point of view, the field was definitely like very easy to see because like it has nice little accents of darker and lighter shades of green.
That is a favorite of ours.
Yes.
So-
If you're gonna have AstroTurf or any kind of field turf, I think it looks good that you incorporate these different colors. And I just like the yellow and black accents on it. They have colored end zones. I love how they did App State in different colors and then the Mountaineers on the other side. And yes, it's got italic font. I mean, that's pretty cool, man, isn't it?
So freaking cool. Dude.
One thing that I can't applaud you on is that you got rid of that track. If y'all would have still had that track, that definitely would have knocked that grade a lot lower.
That was them showing that this is a football school. Like, we're fully focused on our football program.
I mean, it's similar to like Boise State. They used to have a track around their field, and then once they started taking themselves serious, and the whole entire world was taking them serious, you know, they were like, "Yeah, I think this is a football stadium." Yeah. Big props to App State for doing that. I think they really took the next step forward.
Again, it's field turf. Up in the mountains, you probably can't keep that grass alive year-round. Out of all the southern schools or southeast schools that have field turf, I would say App State does get a pass. Might be the only ones. It was a solid field. I liked it. We were both fans. And for that, I gave it an 86, which is a B.
It's definitely going to be one of the higher grades, but I have to compare it to one of its rivals, Coastal Carolina. I graded Coastal a 90 because, you know, it's a one-of-a-kind, unique kind of field. I do have to say it is one of my favorite Sun Belt fields, but I will have to grade it an 88.
They got that B plus in there. All right, so once we calculate our overall grades, they came out to be pretty good for App State. I would say this is a solid Sun Belt score compared to the others we've seen. My overall grade for Kidd Brewer was a 79.7, a C plus.
And my overall grade for Kidd Brewer Stadium is going to be an 82.1, which is a B minus.
Take those two, average them together, came out to be an 80.9. And then, you know,
Plus the beer bonus point, yes, we get it.
plus one. We'll say it's a cold, very cold beer bonus point.
And you know what? They serve nothing but tall boys, so
Was-
hey, it was nothing but tall boys.
Hey. All right, so with that additional point, the final grade for Kidd Brewer Stadium, App State University in Boone, North Carolina, is a very respectable 81.9, a B minus. Yeah, I think
I really like that grade.
that's the highest Sun Belt score. That's the last Sun Belt stadium we're visiting this year. So for season 1, they win highest Sun Belt score. So
Yeah, congratulations, App State.
very beautiful stadium, beautiful campus. It was a great escape for a couple hours to
For sure.
go up there in the fall.
Yeah, if you ever make plans to go to this stadium, please take the route to just enjoy the scenery.
Go on the
throughout
Blue Ridge Parkway.
Blue Ridge Parkway, go on the Lynn Cove Viaduct. There's no better time to do it than in the fall.
Oh, yeah.
I think this was fun. I can't complain about this. So
Yeah, again, please comment below if you know why this stadium is called The Rock. We would love to know. Just let us know what you thought of App State and the rest of the Sun Belt. And thank you again for watching. If you enjoyed this video, go ahead and like, subscribe it. And if you want to keep watching, follow along, turn on those post notifications, hit that bell.
thank you guys so much for continuing to watching our videos. I believe we have one more school.
One more regular season episode.
One more game to go until the regular season's over, and then we're excited for more content afterwards. We're not finished. Just because
Yeah.
the season's over doesn't mean we're finished. So please stay tuned in. We got more stuff coming for you, and we look forward to sharing more stuff with you.
And as always, we will see you next week on game day and on the road.
This is Road Team Reviews, and we're out.